is there a way to keep it in the right spot for the willows to root? Yes, and so you're right, the willows are going to root no matter what. If you put living willow into water, it has nodes all along all of the stems and branches that are ready to form roots when in contact with water or soil. So you put this thing in the water and it's made out of willow, it's going to root. The question is, do you want it to root in a long-term fashion into sediment, or do you want it to just form roots in the water that will create additional surface area for a microbial community to form? So it depends what the objective is for your floating wetland. If your main objective is to establish native vegetation along the shorelines of your pond, then you'd want to pick a spot on the shoreline and install your floating wetland there. You would look for a place on your structure that's strong enough to handle having stainless steel cable looped around it and fastened with a cable clamp. And then you would measure the depth to the sediment and put like a half a cinder block down there and also loop your cable around that anchor to hold it in place. And then the willows would be able to put down their roots into the sediment and establish there long term. Now, if your main objective for the floating wetland is to clean the water quality, then you would want to follow a similar set of steps, but out in the middle of the pond somewhere, measuring the depth down to the bottom and anchoring it in place so that it doesn't end up on the shoreline somewhere. Because if you're trying to improve the water quality, you're going to want to have these positioned all throughout the pond where they can uptake excess nutrients, if that's the concern. So if you do that, you're going to have a lot of water roots forming on the willows. They may not establish permanently because they're not adapted to being in the water year-round. They love to be flooded, but they're usually not inundated year-round. But you will increase the surface area on the bottom of your floating wetland in a way that works really well for water quality improvement, because it will get filled with microorganisms that do a lot of work in uptaking excess nutrients. So short answer is it depends, but yes, there are definitely ways to keep these in strategic places that help you accomplish your objectives.